Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of SmartTips. I'm Avi Hercenberg, Head of Partnerships here at SmartSuite. And today we're going to talk about how you can name your items within SmartSuite. So let's take a look how. So when you're within SmartSuite, you typically have solutions with different apps, and within each app, you have a collection of records. Collections of records within each app typically represent a certain type of item. So if I'm in my CRM in the pipeline app, each one of these records typically would probably represent a deal. If I'm in my monthly invoices app, each one of these records would probably represent an invoice. And so, what if I'd be able to actually call these, instead of calling each one of these records a record, I'd be able to call it an actual invoice to make it easier for my business end users to interact with the system and understand the types of items they're dealing with. Well, we listened to our user feedback at SmartSuite like we typically do, and we went ahead and implemented that in a very simple and easy way to use. So when you're within each app, you can click on the app dropdown, and over here, you can tell the system what should each record be called. By default, it's set to record because that's just a general overall term. But in this example where each one of these records would represent an invoice, I can go ahead and call in an invoice. And there we go. We have the option of having an invoice. And once I save that, if you take a look over here, it changes to add a new invoice, press Shift Enter. Up top over here, instead of saying new record, it says new invoice. And throughout the system within this app, what you'll see is we start calling items the invoice. Same thing if I go into my pipeline app. So I'm in my pipeline app, and right now everything is called a record, new record. If I go to the bottom, it probably says, add a new record over here. But if I click into the app drop down, and let's call these deals because these are deals within my pipeline. Once I switch it to deals, if you take a look over here, it switched to add a new deal. Same thing over here. If I hover over, it calls it a new deal. And so all over, it actually switches the entire system in this app to call items deals instead of records. And you can go ahead and do that within each app. So if I'm in my contacts app, instead of calling things new records, I can go ahead and switch it to contacts. And so we tried to put together a collection that represents all the different types of items we heard our customers are using SmartSuite to store. But if you come across a specific item that you can't find in our predefined list, and you can simply just search for those over here, and you see we have a very large collection. But if you can't find that item that you're referring to, you like to call things in a different way, simply reach out to our support through Entercom. Let us know what that collection is that you use, and we'll be glad to add it for you. Well, folks, that's it for this week's episode of Smart Tips. And please let me know how you enjoyed this week's video, and let me know what I should cover in future Smart Tip videos.